This is the Analogue Pocket. The screen is very reflective. I didn't even take the protector off of it yet, like the factory one, but I mean, it's glass, so it'll be like that. You could probably see already that this thing is like fingerprint magnet or like finger grease magnet, but even though it's plastic, it feels really, really solid. Like the body has no give in it. There's no flex. The buttons are nice. The D-pad's nice. Everything feels good. On the left side, you have volume and power and the left shoulder button. And then on the right side, you have micro SD slot. These are the speaker grills and the right shoulder button. The back, I also did not take the protective thing off yet, just because, I don't know, I'm weird. It's also kind of interesting how the cartridge slot is like exposed like that. Like there's no, I don't know. I guess if you have a game in it, it's fine. And then on the bottom, you have headphones, USB-C charging, and the original Nintendo factory link cable spot. You jokingly asked about Tetris. Well, that is the only Game Boy game I own. So, we'll turn this thing on. Starts up pretty quick, and then you're given this menu. Play cartridge, obviously you have to have one installed. From what I understand, I don't know what library and memories are. They're going to be added in the 1.1 update for the firmware, but that hasn't happened yet. Tools has Nano Loop, the music making thing, and then GB Studio is how you sync your games you make from GB Studio on the computer over to this. And then I don't have an SD card installed, so that's grayed out and develop. I don't know if you have to enable developer mode or something, but that's that. When you go into the systems menu, you can adjust things like how the sharpness, color palettes, frame blending, all that good stuff. It has built-in support for the 3 Game Boy cores. Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and also native support for Game Gear. You still need the adapter for the back, but I guess it natively has the core already installed, which is kind of neat. So anyway, the cool thing, unlike old school Game Boys, is you don't have to turn it off to put games in and out. So let's slap Tetris in there, and you can see it only goes in a little bit, so the majority of the cart is exposed, but it does line up really nice with the top of the system. It's like perfectly flush. So when we go into play cartridge, it loads that up right away and says error. It's the first time that ever happened. There we go. I don't know what that was about. So right now I have it in the default color palette. If you hold the analog button in the middle here and press left or right on the D-pad, you can switch between just like straight black and white signal, the OG green with the like LCD grid. I don't know how well that's going to show up here. Maybe if I zoom in. There we go. You can kind of see the grid overlay. It's pretty cool. And then we have Game Boy, what they call the Game Boy Pocket. So it's that kind of like grayish black and white as opposed to that, which is just like pure white and black. And then you have Game Boy Light. And then this is called Pinball Neon Matrix. I don't know what situation you would want to use this, but it's there. I actually like just playing it in SP soup mode. And yeah, I mean, everything works just like it should. The screen being 10 times the resolution of the original Game Boy is just nuts. Like, it probably doesn't come across well in this video. Ah, fuck. But it's super sharp. I don't have any Game Boy Color games to try, so I don't know how good those look, but I'm sure they look equally as impressive. So if you press the analog button, you get the menu. We'll go to Quit Game. And the only other Game Boy game I own, or Game Boy family of games, is Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance for the Game Boy Advance. So you can see how this slots in. Much shorter than the GB cart, but still mostly exposed. We'll go into play. Now this doesn't have any of the color modes. Let me boot this up and get to the actual game so you can see what I'm talking about. So this is just standard straight video signal, I guess. If you do the same thing, hold the analog button and go left and right on the D-pad, you'll see it says Analog GBA, that's the built-in renderer. Then you have original GBA LCD, which tries to emulate the kind of like washed out color and adds the LCD grid. So it's a pretty big difference between like the saturation there. This tries to emulate the SP 101 screen, the one that had the better backlight, so it was like brighter colors and then a step up from the OG one, but still not as bright as that. So those are your three options there. I usually just play it on the normal, so you get the nice clean image. And yeah, I mean, you can see it still fits perfectly across width-wise on the ratio. There are very small black borders on the top and the bottom because Game Boy was kind of like a widescreen aspect ratio, but the width is perfect, so there's no, the scaling is integer perfect scaling, so there's no smearing or anything like that. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. You can, I'm just gonna run through this hallway. You can kind of see the different, how the stuff looks in motion. The speakers get pretty loud if I turn it up. Yeah, and that's the Analogue Pocket.